All right, we are back. All right, this is section 2 where we're going to talk about the I.S.M.A.L pitch, right? This is the framework that we're going to utilize for our pitch. It's 5 steps, and these 5 steps are very crucial. But before I dive right in, I just want to quickly remind you on this. All right, listen, this whole entire training, this whole entire experience, I want you to really dive right in. Okay. Don't treat it like school. Don't treat it like, just an opportunity, whatever. I really want you daily to focus on the information that you learn inside of this training. I also want you to refer back to it on a day to day basis because that's going to be the framework that allows you to grow and allows you to expand. All right. I just wanted to remind you on that because I know sometimes it's very easy to go like, whatever, it's cool, I'll figure it out, I'm good, I got you. No, I really want you to dive in. And every day take about 20 to 30 minutes to review the information, right? Take that owner's manual that you have and like let it be like your manual, okay? I know we normally throw away manuals, right? When you got your new iPhone, you threw it away. When you got your earbuds, you threw them away, right? When you got your car, you never even looked at that thing, right? But I really want you to dive in because they say some of the most people who are leaders in their industry, it takes only about 20 minutes of extra time that most people won't do to be the future leaders and to do very well. And so I want that for you. Okay. So let's dive in. That was my spiel. Let's go. All right. So the I.S.M.A.L framework is literally 5 steps in this pitch. Okay. So this right here is what you're going to use when you go to each door, right? Each letter has a job. You learn their job and the pitch, it takes care of itself. Okay. Right. So you have your I for your intro, right? You're making that person feel comfortable. So usually it's like hey, good afternoon. How we doing? Awesome. Awesome. Sweet. I'm just speaking with the homeowners. That's you here. So that intro, that, hey, how we doing? So when I think of intro, I think of when I'm stepping out of the vehicle, when I'm in the area, I'm looking at the home, I'm assessing the property, I'm seeing what is it that this homeowner needs that I can kind of pitch them on, right? So next you got your short story, okay? You're going to create the curiosity. You're like, hey, you the homeowner? Great, awesome. Just wanted to let you know what was going on in the area, right? We're going to be in the area. We're helping a couple of neighbors, right? So I'm building up that curiosity. Oh, what are you doing? Who you are? And then there's going to be my message, right? Why it matters to them, okay? Yeah, we're just in the area because there's some new information that's helping homeowners. There's some new programs that's helping some of the homeowners that replace out their roofs, replace out their windows and doors, right? So I seen your house looks amazing. Just wanted to know what's next on your list, right? So then you start to ask, right? In that, and now you're moving to the ask, right? Once you told them what was going on, you figure out what their need is. Then you're gonna ask the question. Man, shoot, we got time. We got spots available. I got a 10 a.m. I got a 2 p.m. I got a 6 p.m. What's a good time for you to get some information? Then from there, you're going to set up that consultation, write all the information, call the call center, get it confirmed, and then you're going to leave them with the flyer. Okay. That flyer you're going to leave with them is going to have all the information for the company and everything. So that's how you're going to do it. So in the mix of all of this, you're not forcing the decision. You're not like twisting their arm, like, you better say yes. Tell them, say yes, right? You're reading the homeowner, you're guiding the conversation. Obviously, you're framing it into a way where they would say yes, but you want to make sure that you're going through the process. All right. You're creating each moment with clarity. Okay. It's not a, hey, what's going on? We're doing this. You're signing up now. Fool. No, we're not doing that. Okay. But we're making sure that it's all clear and it's all played out well. All right. So again, here's a step by step, right? So we got the intro. The job of this area, make them feel comfortable, right? A simple smile, right? Let's take a couple of steps back, right? Confirm that they're the homeowner, right? Greet them warmly. Hey, what's going on, boss? How we doing? Hey, how you doing, madam? We're just speaking to the homeowners. I take it you're the homeowner here, right? You want to speak in such a way to where it's warm and friendly, okay? Next, the short story, right? You want to create the curiosity, right? You mentioned that we're helping a couple of neighbors. We're doing some work, right? We're doing some work in the area. We're taking care of a roof from one of your neighbors. We're changing out the windows and doors. Okay. So while we're here, we're just communicating to everybody what's going on. Next, you want to kind of give them the message, right? Find out why it matters. Find what matters to them. Okay. That's what you're doing. Okay. Ask what's their next project on their list. Okay. As they tell you, you listen, you empathize with them. So like, yeah, so we're just helping one of your neighbors with the roof, changing out the windows and doors while we're here. We're giving out some new information about some new programs, some new incentives that's making it more affordable for homeowners to get projects done. Let me ask you a question. Your house looks amazing. There's always something that's on the list. What's next on the project list for you guys? Well, I was thinking about my roof. You ask them, what's going on with the roof? How long has it been like that for the roof, right? Then you want to tell them, hey, well, I got great news for you. We're going to have a rep in this area. I have a 10 a.m. available. I have a 2 p.m. I have a 6 p.m. You want to kind of give them some time frames. You want to confirm all decision makers there. And then in this moment, you're going to start to grab their information. Okay. So this is the A part in the whole I.S.M.A.L framework. Okay. Then you want to leave them. You finish it strong, right? After you called the call center, all right, you called the office, you leave that flyer, and then you confirm that date and time with them, right? You're leaving them and you're leaving on a high note. So you want that whole entire conversation to leave with that homeowner thinking like, man, I like that person. I like them. They're cool. So all of this is going to build off itself. And as it builds off itself, it makes it easier and easier for them to trust you and trust the organization. And now when the sales rep comes in, the sales rep sits down and it's a smooth sailing. It's smooth sailing because you set up the right kind of consultation. You identified the homeowner, you made them feel warm, and you delivered a powerful message, and you made them tell you what they need. So great work. That's what we want from you. So let's talk about it a little bit more. Okay. Let's go over the intro, right? As I mentioned before, you want to make them feel comfortable. You might say, Keith, man, didn't we just go? No. I want to make sure you get it. Okay. Because as you get it, this is the linchpin to your money. So at that word, as they say less. I'm going to say less. Okay. So this is your intro. You're reading and recognizing the situation. You're looking at the home. You're seeing everything. You're figuring out what's going on. Okay. In this moment, say who you are without saying why you're there. Okay. So it's just like, hey, what's going on? How we doing? Okay. All right. Confirm that they're the homeowner. Okay. Your energy matters more than your words. All right. If I'm like, hey, what's going on? You the homeowner here? Do you feel my energy? Do you want to open the door for me? You don't. But if I'm like, hey, what's going on? How we doing? Cool. Let me come on over. Right. I'm warm. I'm friendly. Okay. So that person is not thinking like, oh, right. Now you do have some homeowners who might be in, but for the most part, it's open and it's welcoming. Okay. If they're not the homeowner, okay, politely ask where the homeowner is and if they're available. Okay. So you don't want to get all into your pitch, man. We're gonna be doing this, that. And they're like, man, I don't even live here. So you always want to, in that intro, discover if they're the homeowner. Hey, good afternoon. Just speaking to the homeowners. I take it that's you here? Nah, I'm not the homeowner. Okay, cool. No problem at all. Is they around? Will they be in later? Is it like your mom, your dad, your wife? Oh, yeah, it's my wife, man. Oh, yeah, you the homeowner too, man. So those are the types of, I guess you say, conversations that you have when you think about the intro. Okay. Next, we're going to get into the short story. Okay. In this short story, we're creating that curiosity, okay? We tell them what you're doing in the neighborhood, right? We're keeping it short. This area, you're using the Jones effect, right? You might name a neighbor if you have a neighbor. If you already set up a lead in the area and you know the person's name, you can say, yeah, Mr. Johnson on the other street. You can say their name, okay? You're not selling yet, okay? You're creating a reason to keep talking, okay? Right? Because when you knock a person's door, they even know you're pitching them a product or a service. All right. They're not crazy. So you want to make sure as you're talking to them that you're setting it up to where they understand that. Okay. And you already know that. If you already know that they know you're pitching a product or service, you might as well just keep on with the conversation. So in this short story portion, okay, you're saying, hey, if you've already established that they're the homeowner, like, cool, we'll just give you a heads up. We're going to be in the area. We're doing a couple of projects. one of your neighbors, we're replacing out the roof for Miss Johnson, okay? And we're changing out some windows and doors for Miss Sally pretty soon. So while we're here, right? So now while we're here, we're just giving out some information of some new programs and some new incentives that's helping homeowners like yourself get projects done. Okay. So you say when homeowners, we're doing the roof, right? Yep. And then right here, you're telling them about the windows, and then you start to plant these ideas without applying the pressure. Okay. You're not like, hey, we're doing the roof and the windows. What you need? We're not doing that. We're saying, hey, we're doing this, we're doing that. While we're here, we're just talking with everyone, make sure everyone know what's available to them. Okay. Then from there, once the short story, okay, we're going to start to ask questions like what's next on their list. Okay. We're going to give them easy, right? We're going to give them easy options like roof, windows, doors, right? Let them choose. So you don't want to say, hey man, I saw you came to your house, man. You need windows, man. Your windows bad. And that's not might not be their priority. Okay. So you might say, hey, we're going to be in the area. We're helping one of your neighbors while we're here. We're letting everybody know about some new programs, some new incentives that's helping homeowners get projects done. Let me ask you, for your home, what's next on the list? I notice you have some of the same windows that we're working with, but you might have a different priority. What's your priority? Would it be your roof, maybe your windows? And then you're quiet. When you ask that homeowner, you're finding out what matters, right? You're then going to be quiet. You're not going to start just rather and start talking, right? You're going to allow them to a time to answer. So you speak to that homeowner. Yeah, I'm thinking about my, probably my windows. You simply ask the question, what's going on with your windows? Okay. Then in that moment, they're going to share their problem. Okay. As they're sharing their problem, don't rush past it. So if they tell you, oh, it's probably because of my windows, you don't want to say, oh, okay, cool. Well, we can sign you up, man. We're going to have a guy here. Maybe we can get you an estimate tomorrow. No, 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 no. That's not what we're doing. You're going to say, okay, what's going on with your windows? And then you listen. Well, my window's a little bit older. They're not closing properly. The sun's baking in the house. When it thunders and lightning, I hear all the noise. Then you're going to say, okay, I completely understand. I get you there. Yeah, if I had, the noise from outside coming inside, that wouldn't be good for me either. Man, how long has that been going on? Man, it's been going on since I moved in the house. Jeez Louise. Then you're going to say, oh, wow, I understand. We can that definitely could be a problem. That's it says that's one line that builds trust. I completely understand. Okay. Most of us, you can raise your hand. How many of us like when someone understands us, when someone feels us, right? Most of us, we watch TV, we listen to music because we're attracted to people because we feel like they get us. And that's what you're doing right now with this homeowner. You're telling them, I get you. I completely understand. That would be painful. I would not like to live in that. And now you're going to show them that's one of the reasons why you're here. So now that's where you're telling them, okay, cool. I completely understand that. That's one of the reasons we're here. Okay. In fact, my technicians is helping homeowners just like you. So now we're moving to the ask. Okay. You're going to say, okay, cool. Well, you're going to offer them 3 times that you have. Well, okay, cool. My rep's going to be here tomorrow. I have a 10 a.m. available or 2 p.m. and a 6 p.m. What's a good time for you? Okay. You never want to ask a homeowner, we're going to be here tomorrow. When do you want us to come by? They might tell you, I'm busy all day. And then you got to ask them, well, what's all day and what's busy? And now it gets to this back and forth cycle. And then they sometimes end up saying no because it's too confusing. For this homeowner, I want to make it easy for them. Okay. All right. I want to tell them, hey, my rep's going to be in this area. I got a 10 a.m. available. I got a 2 p.m. I got a 6 p.m. What's a good time for you? Right. And you always want to confirm that all decision makers will be available at that time. Right. So in this process, I'm like, okay, cool, sweet. So you said 6 o'clock? Perfect. Is that a good time for you and the missus? Yes, it is. Okay, perfect. Awesome. So what I'll do now is grab some quick information from you, like your name and your number. I'll tell you what to expect for tomorrow's consultation. I'm going to make a quick call to my office. They're going to verify that you're the homeowner. And then I'm going to leave you with a reminder flyer. So now I'm walking that homeowner through what's about to happen over the next few minutes with me. Okay. Because now I'm painting the picture and I'm framing it. Okay. It says here, as a tip, right? As a leader, where only one person is home, it's a one-legger. Okay. We don't like a lead where there's only one person. All right. That's a weak lead. Always, always ask, is that a good time for the husband or the spouse too? Okay. Before you lock that time in. That's very important. So what it's saying here is in that ask, when I get a time for that person, I got 10, 2, or 6. You say, oh, okay, cool. You said 6 o'clock? Yep. Confirm it out loud, right? You confirm it that that time is 6. Okay, cool. Is that a good time for the missus? Oh man, you know what? Oh, that won't even work for her. Shoot, she working tomorrow, so let's do no, she works late. Let's do in the morning then. That'll work better. Will that work for both of you guys? You both be there? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Perfect. That's how you set that lead up. Okay. So it's very, very important that you ask it that way. Once you have that, then you start to move over to the fun stuff, which is where we start to get ready to call the office. So we wrote everything down on the paper. Now we're about to call the office. Okay. This is where we get ready to leave, but we're not leaving yet. This is the buildup. Okay. So now I'm going to call the office, okay, in front of the homeowner to confirm the consultation. Okay. It says the office then verifies the name of the homeowner, the address, and the time. All right. Then we get ready to leave the reminder flyer for that next day appointment. Right. So when we call the office, we start to tell the office some information. Okay. You're going to tell the office when you call the call center. Okay. Have this information ready because remember, you're writing it down. It's inside of your booklet. It's inside of your clipboard, right? You're writing this information down. So when that call center answers, they're going to say, hey, what's going on? This is, let's say, Caitlin from USA. Hey, this is Keith, right? I'm here with Mr. Johnson. This is Keith from the campus department. I'm here with Mr. Johnson. We're in Miami Gardens. We're at 123 Main Street. He's married. He's looking, he speaks English, and he wants someone to come out tomorrow to get him and his wife some information at 6 p.m. Okay. And then they're like, oh, okay, cool, perfect, sweet, no problem at all. All right. So then we communicate all of that stuff over to the call center. Once they come gather all of that information, now we're gonna pass it to the homeowner, and now they're gonna verify all of that information with the homeowner. Okay. So I'm gonna practice it out with my words verbally. So stay with me. So ring ring ring. Hey, what's going on? This is hey, what's going on? This is Keith with USA Canvas. I'm standing here with Mr. Johnson. He's looking for someone to come out for him and his wife tomorrow in Miramar to give him some information for the windows and doors at 6 p.m. Um, they're married and he speaks English. And like I said, he wants the windows and doors. And his address is 123 Main Street. And his telephone number is 123-456-789. Right? So then they say, okay, and to get it confirmed. All right. All of this is the information that you're passing over to the call center. Okay. Hopefully this helps. Let's dive on to the next slide. All right. So here's the full pitch broken down word for word. Okay. If we're going to say, like, Keith, man, how I put all that stuff you said together, man. You said a lot, man. Here's how we put it all together. Okay. The simple framework. We're going to go line by line. Here we go. Okay. You can follow along inside of your manual. Okay. Hey, good afternoon. Just inform the property owners we're going to be in the area. Okay. I take it you're the homeowner here. Listen for the answer. Great. Awesome. Just helping some of your neighbors with a couple of home projects for their home. One homeowner, we're measuring out a roof. Another home, we're looking at the windows and doors. While we're here, we're giving out some giving out some info on some new programs that's helping homeowners replace their roofs, windows, and the doors, plus a free quote. Let me ask you a question. As a homeowner here, what would you say is the next project on your list? Would it be your roof, maybe your windows, maybe your doors? right? See, I'm asking it kind of curious. I'm not like, man, so what's next on your list? It's the roof, the windows, the doors. What you trying to do? I'm not doing it like that, right? I'm gonna listen to them. They might say, maybe my windows. Oh, okay. I'm gonna ask them, what's going on, right? And I'm gonna expand their pain. Oh, what's going on with the windows? Man, it's this and that and that. Oh man, that's the problem, man. That's crazy. Man, I can only imagine what that's like. Whoo-wee, you had that come in the house. So I'm getting myself involved with it, okay? I'm gonna say, oh wow, I understand. That could definitely be a problem. That's one of the reasons why we're out here today. Today and tomorrow, we're going to have a technician giving out information in regards to your pain, right? Your windows, your doors, your roof, whatever it is. I have a 10 a.m. available, a 2 p.m., a 6 p.m. What time works best for you? And then you're quiet. Don't say nothing. Don't be like, what time works best for you? Because we can come out, man. We're gonna show you everything. We're gonna take measurements, da, 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 da. And now you done killed the lead. So wait, listen, and then let them pick. Once they pick, that's what it is. All right, perfect. All right. And is that a good time for the wife or the husband also? Great. Love it. So that's this portion of the pitch. So now let's keep going. Well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab some information from you real quick. I'll tell you what to expect for tomorrow, right? I'll call my office to confirm. And so go ahead and give me your name and your number. Boom, you get their name, you get their number, and then this is where you introduce yourself. You get their name, you start writing down their number, you say, oh, I'm so sorry, man, my manners are better than that. I'm Keith. Boom, you shake their hand, or whatever your name is. My name's Keith, so I use my name, right? Oh, by the way, my name is Keith. Nice to meet you, right? Here's what to expect for tomorrow. The rep will come out, go over samples, measurements in the programs, financial options, discounts, warranties, and leave you with a quote that's down to the dollar. We give you about 90 minutes for all of that. Sounds good? Yeah, that's fine. Okay, cool. Let me make a quick call to my home office to confirm. Um, and then you make the call, right? When you make the call, boom, remember to have this stuff in handy, right? Remember the name, the department that you're in, the homeowner's name, your location, the homeowner's address, they're married, the time, the product that they want, their telephone number. And here is the number for the call center. Okay. So you might want to save that to your phone now. Save it, like save it in your phone now. Save it. Okay. Save it. Good. All right, cool. So as you're leaving that house, right? Once it's all confirmed, you're going to hand them that reminder flyer. What I like to do with that reminder flyer, I like to read it from the top to the bottom, right? And then I like to skip out on the portion where it has the coupon. I like to say that to the end, okay? And that's a whole nother training, but I like to say that to the end. So read from the top. So we're USA Windows and Doors, 25 years of experience, family-owned company. So family-owned, the dog works for the company. Tomorrow is the consultation at this time for the windows and doors. You can see all of our credentials. Let me show you on the back of the page. Here's some before and after projects of what we've done, and also what some homeowners have to say about us. We also offer 100% financing, all right? So we can do cash, no money down. We do cash, debit, credit. Only thing we don't do are dog labor, child labor, but we'll put the pesky iguanas to work. So if you got some iguanas running around, we'll put it to work, right? Now you might say to yourself, wait, man, I got to say all that. You don't. But I like to say that because it makes the person laugh. It breaks down their barriers, breaks down any walls that they have. And when you start talking about finances, most of the time people get a little icky. Okay. So that's one of the parts that I use. Okay. Then from there, I let them know. I change my pitch, right? My tonality. See, I'm talking loud, loud, loud now. And then I come over and I turn the page over and I point to the little coupon. I say, hey, listen, here's one thing I do know. We're going to give you a great price, but I like to see the savings. At the end of the consultation, pull out this flyer, point right here, and they're going to give you a little extra. Okay. So that's just from me. And then you hand them the flyer. Once you hand them the flyer, immediately start to talk about something else. Okay? Talk about something else. Get their mind off the flyer because business is done. Okay? So you give them the flyer, boom, you say, I gotta ask. Earlier when I walked to the house, I noticed you had a flag flying and said Dolphins. Are you really a Dolphin fan, or you just doing it just to like make people happy in the neighborhood? Oh man, I've been a Dolphins fan since 1972, man. I'm gonna tell you, right? So that's fine. You want to start to capture that energy and you talk a little bit with that homeowner. Make that homeowner like you. Make that homeowner be excited that they are booked a consultation with a company that you're representing, right? You don't want them like booking a consultation like, man, they sent that person to me. So you making sure they like you at the end, okay? Whether you're talking about sports, the cars, or whatever it is, find something to talk about. That could be a ring, it could be a bald head, right? Whatever it is, you find something to talk about for a little bit, and then you leave. You want to leave before they tell you they gotta go. Now, you might say to yourself, Keith, man, I can't do that every single time. You're gonna get into a rhythm to where you can. And as you get into a rhythm, you're going to start to know, like, okay, cool, I understand what I'm doing now. And as you understand, that's how you get better. Okay. So, with that being said, here, as you stepping away, there's a couple of things you need to ask yourself. Okay. Did I confirm the homeowner that they were the homeowner, right? Did I mention what we were doing for the neighbors? Okay. Did I ask for them? Did I ask what's next, like on their list, right? Did I confirm all decision makers? And did I call the office and I leave the flyer, right? These steps, if you checked all of them, that's a solid lead. That's a solid lead. So you want to keep replicating that, okay? Because I know you can do it. You probably done things already in the past where you talk to people and set them up for consultations. You do it with your friends all the time. You call them up. Hey, what's going on? What you doing today? You ain't doing nothing. All right, cool. I'm going here. Dot, 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 dot. You want to go with me? And then they say yes. All right, cool. I'll be there in a minute. Right? You do it all the time. Okay? This is no difference. So, it's time for a knowledge check. That's right. It's time for a knowledge check. So right now, we're going to pause this video, and now your facilitator is going to step in, and you guys are going to go over these questions. And if there's any questions you may have, you can talk with your facilitator at this moment. So let's go ahead and hit pause.